This weird world is full of strange conspiracy theories and bizarre coincidences that usually have a straightforward explanation. Curses are seen as a ridiculous claim that most people ignore. We found 5 real-life curses that will question your rational mind. These are 5 creepiest real-life curses. Number 5. The Cursed Iceman. Back in 1991, an Iceman was found in the Alps between Austria and Italy and was nicknamed Ötzi. The 13 years that followed after his discovery led to 7 people dying who had found him. The first to die was Rainer Henn in 1992. The forensic pathologist who put the Iceman's remains in a box with his bare hands died the following year in a car crash while he was on his way to a world conference to discuss the Iceman. The next to die was the mountain guide who discovered the Iceman's face, Kurt Fritz, who died in an avalanche. The third to die was the man filming the discovery, who later died of a brain tumour. Helmut Simon, who originally found the Iceman, went missing for 8 days in 2004. His body was found face down in a stream after he had fallen to his death after a 300-foot drop. After Helmut's death, Dieter Warnecke, who was a part of the rescue team, died of a heart attack after Helmut's funeral. Conrad Spindler, who was the 6th person to die, was quoted saying to the media about the so-called curse, "I think it's a load of rubbish. It's all media hype. The next thing you'll be saying is, I will be next." He died 6 months later due to complications of multiple sclerosis. Finally, the last person to die was Tom Loy, who was a scientist who had discovered human blood on man's clothes and weapons. He died of what appeared to be a natural death caused by hereditary blood disease. But strangely enough, he was diagnosed with this condition the exact year they found the Iceman. It was discovered that the Iceman died of a violent death, being shot with an arrow and his head being bashed in. Number 4. The Curse of Tutankhamun's Tomb. In 1922, George Herbert, the 5th Earl of Carnarvon, funded English explorer Howard Carter on his expedition to Egypt. Carter was the man who was to discover an ancient tomb. The ancient tomb that was found to be of Egyptian king Tutankhamun and all of his riches. On the staircase wall leading to the tomb was written an ancient text that read, "Death comes on wings to he who enters the tomb of a pharaoh." After opening the tomb, however, strange and unpleasant events started to occur to the people that made the discovery. By 1929, 11 people had died, allegedly victims of the Pharaohs Curse. A few months after opening the tomb, tragedy struck with George Herbert, who died a few days later after what seemed to be an insect bite. Legend has it that shortly after he died, there was a power failure leading to all of the lights in Cairo going out. His son reported that back on his estate in England, his favourite dog howled and suddenly dropped dead. Number 3. Rasputin and the Romanovs. Rasputin was a priest who managed to worm his way into the palace of the Romanovs, Russia's ruling family in the late 19th and earlier 20th century. It is said that Rasputin befriended the young Alexis and treated his hemophilia. The Tsarina was besotted by him. However, they believe Rasputin began to have too much power over the royal family and decided he must be killed. However, killing him was not that easy. They tried to poison him, push him down the stairs, and finally repeated gunshots to end his life. Before his death, Rasputin uttered a curse on the family as he died. In less than a year, Russia's ruling monarch family were brutally murdered in a mass execution by the communist insurgents. Number 2. Tecumseh's Curse and the American Presidents. It is said that the American Indian chief Tecumseh, leader of the Shawnee and a large tribal confederacy which opposed the United States during Tecumseh's war, who became an ally of the British. It is said that he cursed future presidents of the United States after he and his forces were defeated at the Battle of Tippecanoe. Presidential deaths include William Henry Harrison, who died after he caught a cold during his inauguration, which quickly turned into pneumonia. He died after only 1 month in office. Abraham Lincoln was shot on April 14, 1865 and died the next day. James Garfield was shot in 1881 and died several months later after complications following the gunshot wound. William McKinley was shot by a man who considered the president to be an enemy of the people. McKinley died 8 days later. Number 5. John F. Kennedy died in 1963 after an assassination in Dallas 3 years later. Number 1. The Cursed Phone Number. Can a phone number really be cursed? Well, apparently it can. The number 0888 888 888 has been linked to so many deaths that it's been suspended from use. Owned by Mobitel, the Bulgarian phone number has claimed it's taken 3 lives. In 2001, owner and CEO of Mobitel held the phone number and a short time later died of cancer. The second to own this phone number was mafia boss Konstantin Dimitrov, who was shot while having dinner in 2003. The third and last owner of the phone number was businessman Konstantin Dishliev, who died from gunshot wounds in 2005 outside an Indian restaurant in Bulgaria. All of these men died in a 4-year period. Hey, make sure you subscribe. We publish new videos every Monday.